There's a simple way to think about organization culture. Organization culture is nothing but the personality of the organization.
Like they say, culture eats strategy for breakfast.
The 5 words that I came up with are excellence, courage, integrity.
If our values were a movie title, what would you call it? Welcome, Sanjay.
Thank you, Sheetal, and I'm so happy that we're doing this.
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
Yes. So I'm going to really start and ask you a very simple question. What exactly is organization culture?
So there's a simple way to think about organization culture. Organization culture is nothing but the personality of the organization. So it's the way that employees behave with each other, behave in their work environment on a daily basis, and how they interact with each other.
So what is culture shaped by?
So typically an organization would put down a set of stated expectations. This takes the form of values. So in organization, you would have seen a set of values that are typically printed out or written on walls.
Yes.
So this is nothing but the stated expectations that if you follow the values, you will behave in a certain manner.
Right.
But in reality, it's actually people follow what they observe leaders in practice behaving. So if leaders in practice behave exactly as how the stated expectations are, then typically culture is very strong. If there is a mismatch between the two, then you will find culture typically weak. So the stated values say something, but leaders within the organization behave in different ways. And therefore that observed behavior, when it's different from the stated expectation, there's a little bit of a clash, and that then culture is weak.
So then why is culture important?
So if we say that culture is the way employees behave and interact with each other, it virtually determines everything within the organization. So how do you resolve conflict?
Right.
How do you treat failure or success? How do you manage performance? What kind of people are hired? And this in the end determines business success. So when you say culture of an organization is rather slow, it's because decision making of the leaders is slow, and that permeates through the rest of the organization. And hence how you define values also is important.
So before actually you get into values, Sanjay, I want to understand, where did these values come from?
So I said that one are stated expectations and one is observed
behaviors. Yes.
And when we started Safire Foods, we merged 8 different entities together. So 8 different entities meant 8 different cultures, 8 different ways of working, 8 different ways of behaving.
Right.
And I really wanted to merge and meld it all together into one culture. But then we said it's observed behavior. So people will be, in a sense, reflecting how I behave on an everyday basis at work. So the thing that I did first is I reflected and said, can I put down how I behave or how I try and live my life? Can I put it down on paper? And 5 words really sprung.
Okay.
And I thought to myself, and I did check with other people who worked with me during my career. And I said, in a sense, these 5 words define how I tend to behave, not only at work, but in my everyday life.
Right.
Those 5 words on my first day here, I said, these are the 5 values that I try and live my life by. And this is what I'd like the organization at large to also follow. Because strategy, what we will do every day at work, all that you can fix.
Yes.
How you behave is really at the core of the heart of the organization.
Right.
That's why culture is number one. Everything else follows from culture.
Yeah, like they say, culture eats strategy for
Yeah.
breakfast. You've been talking so passionately about our culture and Sapphire values. Why don't you talk us through our values at Sapphire?
So the 5 words that I came up with are excellence, courage, integrity, empathy, and accountability.
Fantastic.
And I insist that there is a certain sequence to handling or to talking about the values.
Okay.
So you can't start off with accountability and then move to excellence. So there is a certain sequence.
Right.
And I'll explain the sequence.
Okay.
So I start with the value of excellence. And to me, the value of excellence is actually fundamental to everything that we do at Safire, everything that I try and do.
Okay.
And it's the one value that I believe is intrinsic in a human being and can't be taught.
Right.
And what I mean by excellence is this inner drive to succeed, to do well, to get better every day, to believe that I've got, as an individual, I've got tremendous potential and I can, achieve a lot. So it has nothing to do with socio-economic status, nothing to do whether I was brought, nothing to do with education, nothing.
Right.
That inner drive to succeed, I believe, can overcome incredible obstacles.
Let's move to our next value, which is courage. What do you have to say about that value?
So courage follows from excellence. So when you're trying to do, when you're trying to strive, you're trying to get better, often you have to swim against the tide. Often you have to do things that are out of your comfort zone. So courage is about the ability to, everyone is zigging and you're trying to zag. So great things are achieved not by doing what everyone else is doing, by forging your own path. So that's the first nuance to courage. The second nuance to courage is when you're trying to forge your own path, there'll be 100 obstacles that you will face. So do you have the grit and the resilience to be able to overcome obstacles? Our initial 3-4 years at Safire, we were demonstrating courage, and I'll explain. So we were a loss-making company.
Right.
And there was immense pressure on us to improve our profitability. And there is another franchisee also in the country who has been here for many, many years, who did show much superior profitability. Now, whenever our shareholders looked at us, they said, why is your profitability lagging that of this other franchisee who operates in, with the 2 same brands that you operate with? And I was clear in my mind that profitability is a consequence of some of the work that we've got to do, the foundational work that we have to do. And what I mean by that is 2 simple things. One is we are a food brand.
Yes.
So we've got to deliver to our customers great food, great experience at great value. If we are able to do it consistently over a period of time, then we will be successful. It will translate into profitability also. And to be able to do that, we had to get in a great team in place.
Right.
And a great team that, again, operates with the same kind of shared values that
Safire stands for.
that we stand for.
Yes.
This took us, Sheetal, 3-4 years to be able to deliver, to get to a certain level of consistent performance.
Right.
Once we were able to do this, profitability started to improve. But in those 3 years, we faced incredible amount of pressure. Every month, in our reviews, people would say, you're not profitable. And then you're telling them, no, we will get there. But when will we get there? 1 year? So it took time, but we knew that we were swimming against the tide. We were doing the right things in a sense, and we will get there eventually. And we did get there. And today we deliver better profitability. And it's a consequence of these three things.
So we move to our next value. How does integrity, play a part in it?
So excellence and courage are the first two values that I talk about. And integrity is the kind of governor or determines the direction in which both excellence and courage go. And let me explain. So excellence with integrity means that you're doing the right thing to get ahead. You're not standing on someone's back, and you're not doing the wrong things to deliver results.
Right.
And courage without integrity means recklessness. So I say integrity is the glue that binds excellence and courage together. And in a simple way, it is, are you doing the right things? What's your moral compass? When no one is looking, are you doing, so often integrity is sacrificed at the altar of convenience. So we can talk about integrity and doing things the right way when it is convenient to us. When it is inconvenient to us, then do we follow and do we do the right things? That is important. So empathy, I believe, is a value that can be taught. And I'm a living example of that.
Okay.
When I understood the power of empathy, it transformed my own career. And I'll explain. So as a functional leader, when I used to head sales and I used to head marketing, I think I have strong drive to succeed. So I was like put my head down and charge ahead. And often, as long as my team is taken care of, as long as I didn't look left and right. I could be a bull in a china shop. I wouldn't bother about anyone, other functions who might be. As long as my work is done, I'm very happy. And then I worked with other people who are wiser than me.
Right.
And then they brought this part to life, that if you're a little softer, if you're able to take people along with you, and people, not only people who work directly with you, but the larger ecosystem, if you're able to work, if you take them along with you, you'll go far. If you go alone, you'll go fast, but you won't go far.
Yes.
And I think that's what I call about. So are you able to harness the power of a team coming together?
And that brings us to our last value, which is accountability. Tell us more.
Accountability, in a sense, is what all the four values, when you put them together, accountability really magnifies what these four values can achieve. And in a sense, I'll use three Hindi words to bring accountability to life. And I say it is kehna, karna or nibhana. And especially the word nibhana is a very beautiful Hindi word.
Right.
So it really means say what you'll do, do what you will say, and hold yourself accountable for what you say and what you do.
Lovely.
And let me give you an example of this. So accountability is when I hold myself responsible for outcomes, not actions.
Right.
So often, you'll find people in a work environment say, but Sanjay, I had to achieve this outcome, but I tried. And I tried to do this, and this is what I did. But Sheetal had to also help me, and Sheetal didn't help me, so what can I do? So accountability to me is no excuses, execution. Absolutely no excuses. It means that if I'm dependent on someone else, I'm figuring out well in advance does that someone else understand what they have to give me? Do they give it in the right manner? And am I following up to ensure that indeed they deliver what they have to deliver so that I can deliver? So this is kehna, karna, nibhana. And that nibhana Hindi word is a very powerful word.
Yeah.
So it's no excuses, execution. Get the job done.
But Sanjay, isn't there an assumption when you say that there is a no excuse execution? Isn't there an assumption that we have to be successful all the time? Is that really even practical? Because what is accountability if you then fall short of your target that you need to achieve?
Yes, success and delivering outcomes is an important part of accountability. But being successful all the time, as you said, is impractical.
True.
So I'll give you a couple of examples. So I'm not able to meet my sales target for this month.
Correct.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
But accountable people reflect and say, why was I not able to meet my sales target? So first of all, am I telling my manager well in advance that it's likely that I'm not going to be able to meet my sales target for the month? And I'm taking ownership that I'm not able to meet. So it doesn't stop at that. The next step is to say, what can I do to ensure that I can meet my sales target in the next month or the succeeding month? So it's to say that I'm not meeting my targets today, but let me tell you the steps that I'm taking to ensure that I could meet it
in the coming months.
What is it that I was dependent on another 3 people?
Right.
Those 3 people might have failed me. Let me tell you, what am I doing to ensure that those 3 people in the coming months don't fail me?
Right.
So this is the expression of accountability. I take ownership. If something is not happening, I'm taking ownership to say, let me tell you why it will happen. And I'll give you a milestone also. That am I delivering to now these activities that will help me achieve? That is accountability. So accountability is not only being successful.
Correct.
Is being responsible and in charge of the steps that are required to be successful.
Yeah. So that also actually brings in mind to me a question. Now, if someone is excelling in results, but they are not following the values of Safire, what should I do as an employee? Should I look at those breakthrough results, or should I still steer towards the values and stay true to my path?
So typically the one big conundrum that organizations go through or leaders go through is that you have a high performing individual who is a bit of a bastard, if I say, at work. They're terrible with their peers. They ride roughshod over their team, and they're just a pain in the backside. In my books, that is a no-no at Safire.
Right.
So I always say I want prima donnas. In a sense, I want people who have immense pride and they say we are the best, but they don't behave in that manner. So over the course of these 9-10 years that we've been there, I think there are cases where I've asked people to either change their behavior, high-performing individuals, to change their behavior if they are rude to their team and to their peers. So as an employee, I have to call that out. And I have to expect my boss to respond to this. And if the boss is unable to bring it up right finally to me and to expect me to do something about it.
Right.
Because if observed behavior is not about empathy, then culture breaks down.
Right. So thank you so much for that insight, Sanjay. But before we wrap up, I'm going to throw you a few rapid fire questions in and around our values. And I want you to go with whatever comes to your mind first. Yeah. So I have a few questions. I'm going to ask you the first one. If you could add one new value to our culture, what would it be?
I wouldn't add anything. I think 5 is optimal.
The one value you wouldn't compromise on, no matter what.
So I think integrity is the one value that I wouldn't compromise on. Doing the right thing is important to me.
Yeah, doing the right thing even when no one's watching.
Yeah. Even when it is inconvenient.
Yeah. A value you think every leader should live by?
I think empathy is very important. I told you my story. Empathy changed the trajectory of my career.
The behavior that earns your respect instantly.
Excellence, I think.
Superb. Okay, this one's, if our values were a movie title, what would you call it?
Why don't we go with Kehna Karna Nibhana?
So a movie on Safire would be Kehna Karna Nibhana. So before we close, I have one last question for you. What's the one call of action, actually you could have multiple, you would like every team member who's listening to this conversation today to take away?
To get ahead at Safire and in general to get ahead in life, you have to look at two things. One is, do I drive outlier results? Or can I drive outlier results? Or can I drive excellent results?
Right.
3 values play a role here. The value of excellence, courage, and accountability. So these are the 3 values that help me deliver above target results. The second important aspect to get ahead in life and be successful is, can you work with people, can you develop teams, and can you in general make the sum of the team larger than its parts? And that's about integrity, being true to yourself, doing the right things. And about empathy, is walking in other shoes and helping everyone to succeed. So this is what everyone at Safire should take.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sheetal, for this.
Thank you for making this possible. Thank you to everyone who is listening to this conversation in the spotlight today. And I hope you live by the Safire values each day, every day, in your own way. Until next time, see you.